Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachar. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. To the Israelite foreigners scattered throughout the four corners of the earth who may look like the heathen nations. And to the very few sisters that listen and learn to you, Shalom. I'm the brother Yasharala with Great Millstone, Chicago. Just want to hop into something real quick. All right. Going into Esau, Edom, our biggest enemies, all right, the Israelites' biggest enemies, which today they're the people who like to claim the Greeks and the Romans, Alexander, etc. All right, those people, the Idumeans, all right, Esau, Edom, the red people on the earth. All right, they are a house divided. So what happened to the nation of Israel? Okay, after King Solomon, all right, he had passed, his son, King Rehoboam, stood in his stead. All right, and the kingdom was divided, northern and southern kingdom. All right, and the northern kingdom was Jeroboam, who left with the other tribes, and the southern kingdom, which consisted mostly of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they stood behind in the land, and the nation of Israel became divided. And what happened since? We were just going off in wickedness, and we became divided as a nation, and we got jacked up. We got taken over in time. The heathens took us out of our land, put us into slavery, etc. And now we're seeing that, all right, with Esau, Edom. And not only Esau, Edom, the rest of these nations too. Before I do that, let me read this is Deuteronomy 30:7. And Yahweh thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Excuse me. So the curses that fell upon the nation of Israel, which today consists of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, for the majority, but you are gonna have Israelites of those people living amongst the other heathen nations who, in due time, the men bring forth children with those women of the other nations, and now you're going to have Israelites who look like everybody, all right? We're going to look like all nations under heaven, all right? I always just put that out there because you do have some who are newly listening to this and may be one of those Israelite foreigners who look like another nation, but we really go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The curses fell upon those people, but now we're starting to see the curses falling upon our enemies. Okay, and who's our enemies? You could read that in Psalms 53. Names you God's enemies. All right. At the end of the day, all the nations are enemies because they all had a part in our downfall. All right. So we're starting to see these curses fall upon them. This is Matthew 12:25. And Yahweh knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. All right, and ultimately this is going into Esau, Edom, because whose kingdom are we in right now? We're in his kingdom. All right, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Genesis, the 25th chapter, he was given that, Genesis 27, Esau was given that sword so he could do what? Take over the earth. All right, get the fatness of the earth. Okay, by his sword he was going to live. So it's getting to the point now where it's like Alexander's generals. All right, they went to war with each other for what? Because they wanted more power. They wanted more, to conquer and have more power. And that's what's happening now. You got Russia versus Ukraine, and you got Israel, United States, and Turkey, and you got all these Edomite nations, NATO, EU. You got all these Edomite nations now, fighting against each other. And it's only a matter of time before they hit the button, all right, for the nuclear missile, all right. But before that, we're waiting for the MOTB, all right, the digital device, which is gonna dictate your currency and all of that stuff. All right. So we're seeing our enemies fight against one another. All right. We're seeing the nation of Esau fighting Esau. So that lets us know that his kingdom is divided and it's getting ready to fall. And I got one more. This is Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, which this horse represents Esau, Edom. All right, Genesis the 25th chapter says what? Esau came out red. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Right? And that was his blessing, to take peace from the earth. All right? The earth is not at peace right now. It's not at rest. When the Israelites are in rulership, the people are going to rejoice. Right now, everybody's mourning. All right. And it says, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. So with that blessing they received, guess what? They're killing each other with it. All right. And it's a beautiful thing to see the downfall of our enemies happening right before our eyes. All right. Esau versus Esau. And with that being said, Jacob is right behind. All right, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So once this is all said and done, once Esau gets taken out of power, it's our turn to rule in righteousness forever. With that, Yahweh willing, this was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.